Hey, this is Scott Alexander, welcoming you to another Team Woods Journey Call. Today my guest is Tania Bradley of the Bradley Realty Group, which is part of the Keller Williams Lakeside Romeo office in Michigan. Tania is a leader of her team, mother of two, and works at building her real estate business with integrity and professionalism. Part of that stems from her faith and her tremendous work ethic. I've had the privilege of working with Tania for a few years, and personally it's always been a pleasure. Actually, the call you're about to hear is the do-over from our first talk, which accidentally didn't get recorded. It was actually pretty disheartening when I realized we had done this wonderful conversation and hit the button and nothing. So it wasn't recorded. But Tania was a great sport about it. I think even her words were something along the lines of, hey, we're family. It's all good. Let's just, we'll reschedule. So I couldn't say enough nice things about Tania. And you're about to hear a little bit of her now. So without further ado, here's my journey call with Tania Bradley.
Good afternoon, Tania. How are you doing today?
I am awesome. How are you?
I'm doing great, So first off, I just wanted to find out, how did you get compelled to choose real estate as your profession?
Well, I actually was thrown into it. My dad was a contractor, and he was an investor and a contractor, and he had apartment buildings, and he had a lot of friends in real estate. So one of his friends was a loan officer, and he got me a job with him as a processor when I first got out of high school. And I, quickly went from a processor to a loan officer. And then everybody in the office was investing in real estate. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm saving money. I'm at home. I can invest in some houses. So I did that, and eventually when the market turned, I got into property preservation for foreclosed homes. And then after that, while I was doing it, actually, as a backup plan, I got my license as a realtor.
Okay, so you it's a family business in a way. You came to it through family.
Yeah.
Your team is the Bradley Realty Group. So what's your vision for your team moving forward?
My vision is funny you ask, because God just really dropped the vision into me like last week, and it's it's bigger than what I originally imagined. But I'm really trying to be a resource for real estate, all facets of it, since I've done a lot in real estate, from property management to rehab work to project management. I'm trying to collaborate a team to assist on all levels of real estate. So, of course, the real estate team, and we're going to be able to handle all different facets of real estate, from investors to for sale by owners to foreclosures. And it'll be, build a team around that. And then also contractors, we'll have our own contractor's license to be able to assist with investors with their repairs and stuff that they need in project management and property management, and also like investing. We'll be an investment source. So like homes that we don't, we'll be marketing for investment properties, and then homes that we don't want, we can push off to our investors or list them. We just want to be a whole real estate resource for any client that comes in.
So like a one-stop shop. That's a good scenario to be in, because you never know. There's so many different things that come up in real estate. So especially when you have you always have a resource for doling out information, doling out jobs to people. It's a good position to be in. Now, as far as your clientele right now, like, how would you describe your ideal client?
Well, we work with all types of clients. We do. I have been specializing in foreclosures, helping people, informing people about them having the opportunity to sell their home even if they're in foreclosure and redeem it. So we've been working a lot with people facing foreclosure, and then regular residential clients. We do a lot with selling and purchasing for regular residential clients.
Any particular areas that you're focused on, like areas of the city?
Yes, we do Macomb County.
So just Macomb. Like, what cities are your hot button cities? The ones that's like, if somebody says I got a property in this place, you want to know about it right away?
Macomb Township, Clinton Township, Sterling Heights, Fraser. We pretty much do all of Macomb County. We do the tri-county area. You know, I have homes that I just closed in Belleville, and then we have them in Fraser and Harrison Township. So we do everywhere, but we just market, we farm in Macomb County.
That's good. I definitely like the area that you're working in. It's a lot of good opportunity out in Macomb. Now, when it comes to working with your clients, both buyers and sellers, what's your approach?
Well, what we do initially, so for buyers, we have a consultation before we even take our buyers out to look at homes. We sit down and explain the process to them, and we let them know all the ins and outs and what to expect, what the market is doing right now, and how aggressive you should be with your offers, and you know, everything that we do and everything that they should be doing. So before we get out in the field, we like to get our clients informed so they'll be knowledgeable of what they're doing before they get out there. So I think that makes them feel comfortable and part of the process. And then as far as sellers go, we have, you know, we do a free consultation with our sellers and, you know, let them know what they should do to get their home in marketable condition. And, you know, we offer free staging advice, and we also take professional photos for our sellers, and we market them. Their house has their own website, their very own website that they can, you know, that we advertise and that they can advertise, and we do social media marketing and things of that sort. So we just let them know what we do, you know, and help them to feel comfortable with what we're doing. And there's no pressure at all for, you know, when I sit down with the seller, it's no pressure. It's just, I'm just coming to let you know what kind of value I can add to you. And if you choose to work with me, you choose to, you know. And most of them do. So
as far as like what type of results are you getting with your listings? Like how fast are you typically seeing a property get sold?
Well, this year my average has been less than 7 days. I haven't actually had a property on the market for longer than 2 weeks this year so far.
Oh, shoot, that's a good thing to keep shooting for, 2-week turnovers.
Yes.
And you attribute that to a lot of pre-marketing stuff?
Yes, the pre-marketing and then photos. I pay a pretty penny for the photos, you know, and that's something that I do ahead of, you know, before I get paid anything, but the photos sell the home, you know. So the professional photos and the staging advice and then the pre-marketing, of course, because we try to pre-market it a week before it actually goes up. And then we pay for Zillow, so we have the coming soon. So it's a lot of people, you know, they're getting attention, the homes are getting attention before it's even on the market. So we're getting calls on the houses before they're even actually on the market. So it kind of ramps up the interest in the home. So once we actually put it on the market, it's like several families going through it at one time, and you know it makes for a good turnaround. So the reason why I decided to do the photography is because I want to help people, you know, and I want to be an asset to them. So I just believe in, you know, you sow and you reap, you know. So even if, and I think that, you know, the getting a home professional photograph, it brings up it brings more attention to it. So I'm in the business of selling homes, not just listing them. You know, I've had expires that $350,000 expired. It was on the market for 120 days, you know, and I put it on the market, was able to get professional photography done on it, and it sold in 7 days, you know. So just the results. That's what made me, you know, really want to do it.
It's just a good lesson in adding value. You know, we often talk about adding value, but you definitely do that by taking good pictures, and it goes a long way. Pictures was worth 1,000 words, in this case, several $1,000s. So it sounds like you're busy, very busy. What's your home support look like? Like how do you have it set up to balance between the work and the family?
Well, time blocks. Time blocks help me a lot, and then my kid's dad and his mother, they help me a whole lot with my children. And then I just rely on God, you know, because he sends all the business in, and you know, my focus is on helping people. So if you look at my time blocks, like a lot of it is, you know, volunteer work in church. because that's what's most important. So I put the things that's most important first, and then God just adds to me. The Bible says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and all things will be added, and of course, charity starts at home before abroad. So, I have to put the kids first. I have to put, church first. So I had to really sit down and think, okay, Tania, what are you? So first you're a child of God, then you're a mom, then you're a servant of God, and then you're a realtor, so then I had to look at my schedule and put it that way. And it works.
Sounds like you have it a lot more on lock than I've had it these days, but it's something you got to definitely practice at.
Yeah.
So if you're setting, like, you do the time blocking where you work on this one thing for this length of time, and then you move on to something else. That's how you have your time block set up?
Yes. Free from distractions, if possible. I try to get a lot of my work done while my daughter is in school, because my 5-year-old, she's in school, so that helps. And then my other daughter, she's homeschooled, so it's a balance. It's a balance.
What's the next big thing you're working on right now? Next big project?
So I'm actually working on the credit repair, doing getting the credit repair situated. I'm working on my broker's license this year, and I'm also working on the T-shirt line, a Christian Realtor T-shirt line. So those are the 3 big things that's coming up in my life.
What's the Christian T-shirt real estate line? What's that about?
So it's just some sayings, how they have a lot of Realty T-shirts that, say, I came, I saw, I sold, and different things of that sort. Well, God gave me a vision for a Christian real estate line, and so it has some godly real estate sayings that He's given me. And it will also help with getting my, because I am, starting, my goal long term is to, start a brokerage for Christian realtors. And it will get my prospecting up for it. So I'll have people that I know are Christian realtors that I can go to when I'm ready. So that's where it came from.
That's definitely, I want to talk to you more about that as it comes along. I have some interest related, some similar related interests. Before we go, I want you to finish the following sentences for me. Success
is well-rounded happiness.
Happiness is?
So happiness is, I kind of try to switch it around to joy instead of happiness because, happiness is a result of something happening. And joy is just when you're really just content in where you are, and knowing that, God has you no matter what. So joy is just, just being relaxed and at rest in where you are.
My favorite guilty pleasure movie is?
Guilty pleasure movie. So I don't watch much TV at all. That doesn't fit in my time block.
I imagine it would. If that's not a movie, what, my favorite guilty pleasure thing to unwind is what?
In my Bible or reading a book, like reading, sitting down and reading, and it really that's my, yes, you could call it a guilty pleasure, but that's what I do to unwind. I do a lot of I do a lot of religious reading and also building yourself up books. It's always something to make me better, of course. Like that's the only thing I read is something that can make my life better.
And then my last question, before I close out the work day, the last thing I do is?
Before I close out the work day, the last thing I do, my work day? It depends on the day. It depends on the day because sometimes the last thing I do is check emails, and sometimes the last thing I do is door knock. So it just depends on the day.
I can tell just from your answers, I can tell you out here grinding. So I'm not going to hold you up much longer or any longer. I really want to thank you again for doing this talk with me and call with me. if someone wanted to get in touch with Tania Bradley and the Bradley Realty team, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, they can contact me via email. My email address is Tania, Tania, at BradleyRealtyGroup.com. And my phone number is 313-283-4629. And also Facebook, Instagram. We're on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as Bradley Realty Group.
All right. Well, I thank you again, Miss Bradley.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott, for having me.